So, an important part of the story is that when David Bowie was touring Diamond Dogs, on the second leg of the tour, he suddenly got really interested in funk and soul music. And when he went out for the second leg of the tour, he completely retooled a lot of the songs to suit a more funk soul style.
Yeah.
Anticipated by the song 1984 on Diamond Dogs. David Bowie's full expression of his love for that genre of music came on the album Young Americans, which I think is an incredibly underrated album. It's not talked about much at all, but I think it's got some of David Bowie's not only his best songs, but some of his best singing.
Yep.
His singing is incredible on this album. So David Bowie coined the term plastic soul.
Yep.
Which basically means it's a white guy singing black music.
Yep.
And it's such a bizarre contrast in between this really lush instrumentation by these incredibly skilled kind of funk session musicians and the background vocals, almost like gospel background vocals, with David Bowie's quite, how do I describe his voice on the album, quite detached, removed, cold.
Yeah.
You can almost imagine these songs being sung by a really soulful, singer, but it wouldn't work. A song just wouldn't work with that. I like the detachment between David Bowie's quite cold and distant voice with this lush instrumentation.
Yep.
So, what songs have you heard of Young Americans?
I've heard the album a few times, but when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
I remember getting this album from the library.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, kids, the library used to give CDs. But
Yeah.
I remember really well Fascination.
That's a
it's
great
a
song.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
I remember Fame on this album. Fame. Is this the one with the slightly rubbish cover of Across the Universe?
Yeah. Words are flowing out like in this rain.
And that's really about it.
Yeah.
But I remember it being really good and liking it. I just haven't heard. But Fascination, I can recall pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
So Young Americans is made up of, well, the most important thing to do with Young Americans is that it's the first album where David Bowie worked with guitarist Carlos Alomar.
Oh yeah.
The other great David Bowie guitarist, probably better than Mick Ronson. Mick Ronson is great at the crunchy riffs and the graceful guitar solos, but Carlos Alomar moved more towards experimentation.
Yep.
He was the guitarist that would feature on Young Americans, Station to Station, and then the Berlin trilogy.
Yep.
So he's obviously an incredible musician, and he absolutely shines here. He has such a sense of rhythm and timing, and he's a master of this kind of genre of music. So that's one important aspect. The other important aspect is that this album was kind of constructed with two sessions. There's two big sessions. One was him recording 6 of the 8 songs.
Yeah.
And the other one was what he did with John Lennon.
Yeah.
So he recorded with John Lennon Fame, and then it's kind of like, thank you for helping me do Fame, I'll cover one of your songs, and he covers Across the Universe,
Yep.
which I actually really like. I even maybe prefer it to the Beatles version.
Is that off of Let It Be?
Let It Be, yeah.
Anything would be better off anything.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's ruined by all the, Let It Be is obviously ruined by all the instrumentation of the overdubs, but I actually really, really rate Across the Universe, the dub. It's not one that's kind of well remembered or well regarded, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's a really good fusion of that style of music with the song. I think David Bowie's singing on it's really good. And then also in this session they recorded the song Fame, which was a huge hit single for David Bowie at the time. Again, it's a classic song. It's all about celebrity culture, and there's some great stinging lyrics.
Well, that's sort of a theme of a lot of David Bowie going forwards.
Yeah.
Like Station to Station can be seen obliquely. There's
Yes.
been about that, and as can Scary Monsters has
Scary
a lot of
Monsters,
oblique references to that.
Yeah.
Like it uses the fashion industry as a metaphor, but we'll get to Scary Monsters eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Yes.
Fame makes a man, makes him hollow. It just sings it with such like spite and hatred and.
Well, he probably felt that at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was desperately trying to escape the status of being Ziggy Stardust, and almost Young Americans was a necessary album to make.
Yeah.
So the album opens up with the title track Young Americans, which is a classic song.
Yeah.
It completely sets out this kind of style that David Bowie's going for. Musically, it's incredibly complex. All these songs are incredibly musically complex, especially the background vocal singing.
Yeah.
You know, he does a lot of trade-off with the singers, which I've seen in interviews where a lot of these singers were saying, I've never done singing like that before, where, you know, David Bowie would kind of say a random phrase and expect us to kind of react instantly with like a ooh or an ah or a phrase or something.
Yeah.
And that's followed by, what's it called? Son of Bear Likes Me.
Yeah.
That's a great song. Fascination.
A masterpiece.
Yeah, that's a classic song about obsession. It kind of falls into the more... you remember how I described Driving Saturday as being a really sleazy song?
Yeah.
Fascination's a little bit like that, I think.
Fascination.
It's almost like a creep trying to come onto you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, it's kind of like, got fascination. You can imagine this kind of weirdo, kind of, if you go a woman coming up to you and, you know...
In a club.
Fascination. And fascination. But again, it works because of the detachment between David Bowie's singing style and these kind of lush background funk session musicians.
Well, the detachment makes it feel like a song about that rather than a song that is that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very important that he chooses the phrase "plastic soul."
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not just a white guy singing black music, but it's also that this is almost like an imitation of it.
Yeah.
Of that style of music. It's done in the style of David Bowie. So it's not exactly an album by like Marvin Gaye or Isaac Hayes or whatever.
Or Stevie Wonder.
Or Stevie Wonder, yeah. It's a David Bowie version of that, and I think a lot of people maybe didn't quite understand that at the time.
Yeah.
I think it's an album which it grows on you. I didn't like it much at all at first. It's not one that I remember terribly well.
No.
But it really grows on you, and all the songs are great.
Fascination was also used on GTA Vice City.
Oh, it is, yeah. And Somebody Up There Likes Me is on another GTA game as well.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a classic song.
I've probably heard it load then. Cause yeah.
Followed by Win, which is a really good song.
Yeah.
Then Fascination, which is the classic one which we've been talking a lot about.
Fascination.
Right, which is also really great.
Yeah.
The thing with Young Americans is that I love it. It's a great album, but all the songs kind of follow a very similar style.
Yeah.
Just by the nature of it. It's a genre exercise.
Yeah.
So just kind of by the nature of it, you know, the songs may kind of merge into one a little bit.
Well, that just makes it sound like more of a coherent album.
Yes, no, it's true, yeah. It's one that I think the songs are better heard in the context of the individual album.
Yeah.
But the highlights are basically Young Americans, Fascination, Somebody There Likes Me, and Fame.
Yeah.
They're the definite highlights of the album. They're all stunning songs. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The production's wonderful. The guitar playing, the session musicians are so skilled and so brilliant. David Bowie's kind of morphing genres to his own will.
Yeah.
And this was before he completely did away with genre bending exercises when he finally gets to Berlin, where he's just like, fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
It's David Bowie as a genre.
Yeah. So Young Americans comes highly recommended. If you've not heard the album, I think it's a classic. It's an underrated classic. It's got some of David Bowie's absolute best singing. The stuff he's doing is amazing. Especially on the song Right, where he's trading off with the background vocalist. That's some of the best I think I've ever heard, where like I don't know how they choreograph that. Like I don't know how they managed to pull that off, where it's so complicated in terms of, you know, Bowie saying a line and then them saying another line, and they have to keep up with it, and it all leads into the complex trade-off leads back into the chorus and then back into the verse, and I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's amazing.
What is it out of 10? Is it an 8, a 9, or 10?
9.
A 9.
It's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think just because maybe the songs they don't sound samey, but they're obviously all part of one concept.
Yeah.
Just trying to have a stand-up. So it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
The Across the Universe cover kind of pulls it down a little bit. It's really good, I really like it, but it does pull it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.